Do you think 3D gaming truly enhances your gaming experience? Let's rewind a bit to the time when 3D gaming was just a fledgling concept, with game developers and players alike buzzing about the possibilities. The early days of 3D gaming were filled with a sense of anticipation, as if we were all standing on the precipice of a new era in digital entertainment. The promise of immersion was tantalizing. The prospect of exploring virtual worlds in 3 dimensions, rather than the flat landscapes we were used to, was enough to make any gamer's heart race. The excitement was palpable and the hype was real. We were promised a gaming experience that would be more immersive, more realistic, and more engaging than anything we'd seen before. We were told that 3D gaming would revolutionize the way we play, and we believed it. But does 3D gaming really live up to all the hype? 3D gaming, while visually stunning, comes with its own set of drawbacks. Let's dive into some of the issues plaguing this realm of gaming. First and foremost, we have to talk about motion sickness. This condition, often referred to as simulator sickness, is a common complaint among 3D gamers. This is essentially a psychophysical condition where your brain gets confused by the visual information it's receiving, leading to symptoms like dizziness, nausea, and even headaches. Next, let's talk about focus. In a 3D environment, objects can appear anywhere, requiring the player to constantly adjust their focus. This can be incredibly taxing on the eyes, leading to strain and fatigue. Moreover, the emphasis on 3D elements can sometimes overshadow the depth of gameplay. In an effort to create realistic and immersive environments, game developers may unintentionally compromise on the complexity and intricacy of the game's storyline or mechanics. And let's not forget about the hardware. 3D games require powerful processors, high-quality graphics cards, and ample memory. This means that gamers with older or less capable hardware are effectively excluded from the 3D gaming experience. In short, while 3D gaming can offer a visually immersive experience, it also brings along a host of problems, from physical discomfort to a potential lack of depth in the gameplay, not to mention the high entry barrier. But what if we told you there's a better alternative to 3D gaming? Enter the world of 2D and isometric games, where simplicity and depth of gameplay reign supreme. These games have an undeniable charm that stems from their ability to focus on the core of gaming, the gameplay itself. 2D and isometric games have lower system requirements, making them accessible to a wider array of gamers. You don't need the latest and greatest hardware to plunge into the magical world of these games. Instead, your focus can remain on the gameplay, the story, and the characters, the elements that truly make a game great. Another advantage that 2D and isometric games have over their 3D counterparts is the reduced risk of motion sickness. With simpler graphics and more straightforward navigation, these games are much less likely to induce the dizziness and nausea that can sometimes accompany 3D gaming. But perhaps one of the most appealing aspects of 2D and isometric games is their nostalgic factor. They take us back to the golden age of gaming, when the focus was more on imagination and less on graphical prowess. And unlike some 3D games that can look outdated after a few years, 2D and isometric games have a timeless appeal. They age like fine wine, their pixel art and hand-drawn graphics becoming more charming as the years go by. 2D and isometric games provide a gaming experience that is both satisfying and timeless. So, does 3D gaming really enhance your gaming experience? We've taken a deep dive into this question today, and the answer might surprise you. We've acknowledged that 3D gaming has its charms. It can offer a sense of realism and immersion that's difficult to match, but at what cost? We've discussed the downsides, from motion sickness to the complexity of controls, not to mention the steep hardware requirements. On the flip side, we've explored the simple elegance of 2D and isometric games. They take us back to the core of what gaming is really about: fun, playability, and a dash of nostalgia. They offer a unique aesthetic, intuitive controls, and they're far more accessible. They remind us that games don't have to be technologically complex to be engaging and enjoyable. Maybe it's time we give 2D and isometric games the recognition they deserve. Happy gaming!